Hi. I don't think you can see my face. It's here. The view is a little bit better. It's about 6:30 at night. Autumn. Got a lot of action going on here on the dry pollen feeder, if you can see. I have to move it because I want to find out if the queen is still in this hive. Why? Funny you should ask. Because last week I pulled a frame out of here that had swarm cells, supersedure cells, the whole bit. I'm going to put this right back here so they know where it is. I also brought an extra strap because I had to unstrap it and use the strap for something else. So I'm going to remove the frames one by one. I did it again. This is supposed to be the warmest day of this week. Just once I want to make a video where I don't have to edit it. I'm also going to add some food because they are building stores for the winter. Winter's coming. It always comes as a shocker. Surprisingly, when most of our year is spent in the winter months. I had my smoker going, I swear I did. I got my sprayer squirting. Can't see my face, that's because I'm in the trees. It's okay. As you can see out front, I don't have hive reducers on. Maybe you can't see. Traditional hive reducers. The ones that come with the polystyrene hives shift back and forth and they don't allow me to treat for mites. I can't get my mite wand in. The wooden ones are inflexible. So they're either open or closed or slanted. And I actually end up using old towels, old rags. And it works great because I can give them a little bit, give them a lot of room. Depends. It works well for mite treatment. It keeps the bees in when I need them in. I swear I'm going to get the smoker going real good. I've got my pollen patties. Got the Hive Alive fondant. My syrup. Got Hive Alive in there. Got all the other stuff in there that I've already talked about a million times. Got some J-hooks. I'm excited about them. You can see the leaves behind me are golden. You may ask yourself, what is that stuff? This is just sugar, syrup, in a little camping ketchup bottle. Got my sprayer, nothing in it. But I tested it out thoroughly. I'm not going to be spraying the bees today, even though temperature is reading 80-something degrees outside. However, if for some reason I need to remove a frame, I will squirt some sugar syrup on that frame. And I'll drizzle some of this on the top of the frames as I depart. This hive was cranking when the National Honeybee Survey came. I should have hypothesized it would swarm. It didn't. I've actually never had a swarm. I've caught a swarm, but I haven't had a swarm. I avoid them. I add more room when my bees are going to swarm. And so, in all the years I've been doing this, it hasn't happened. I love watching the ladies rubbing the pollen all over themselves in a frenzy. Happy as can be. But get it? One of the kids bought me these little smoker pellets for Christmas. They smell good. I don't have any more. But what I do have is I've got spearmint in the garden, and I'm going to dry that. Hang it upside down, dry it, and I'll use that for smoker fuel. Dried leaves make good smoker fuel. First off the lid. And what do I see? But a whole lot of bees looking at me. They've been taking up the syrup, which is great. I want to check the mite board on this hive because I have treated them a couple times for varroa mites. The evil varroa destructor. waiting for trolley, trolley, crap, I can never remember. Trolley Loeffler, trolley, who named this bug? Trolley, the trolley mite, to come up to Alaska, uninvited. Trolley. You know what I'm talking about. If you're a beekeeper, you know what I'm talking about. It used to just feed on Apis dorsata, the Asian honeybee that made open comb. Now, it wants our western honeybees, our Apis mellifera. That's what seems to happen. It made its way across Europe and Russia. I was talking with a friend who was a mentor, the wizard, otherwise known as Stephen George, the other day, who's left Alaska. But I don't have 2 boxes. Sure is nice. I'll lift this hive. I should have done that already. It's heavy. And he said that they have found the trolley mite in somewhere like Kentucky, Tennessee. It's only a matter of time. What do I got here? I can show you. Good bee population. I've got 10 frames of bees here, which would tell me if we're in spring, I would need to add another box. We're not in spring. I don't need to add another box. I could though, I really could, and have them draw out some extra frames that I could feed them in the spring. And I may do that. Or at least a honey super, because I did get some nuke hives that work with frames that are the size of a honey super. I had to get out my phone, not because I'm being rude, because I'm pulling the mite board gently out and I want to photograph it with these slippery rubber gloves. And I'm looking for the mites. Heroic destructor. I see a couple. I don't want to see any. A couple is too many. I think I rhymed. I'm going to scrape it off with my new J-hook. Getting a little sassy about that. Scrape it off. This is one of the reasons I don't like wooden bottom boards, because you can't do this. This is an open bottom board, has a screen inside, and so when the mites fall off the bees, they fall through the screen onto the bottom board. If I had a closed bottom board, they'd be stuck in there with rotting wet wood. That is not good for anyone's health. Putting the mite board back in, it slips in real easy. What's my mission? Mission is find the queen. Make sure she's still in here. She may be sugar locked, and what that means, she might not have a place to lay if all these frames are full of bees or brood. So I'm going to count the brood frames. I did bring some extra empty frames to put in. As soon as I find her, I'll close up shop. Well, I'll add some food and close up shop. Look at my smoker. It's not working. Luckily, I have a flamethrower. Yep. It doesn't seem to help me much. It doesn't. And I'm not too packed up in here. If you're a beekeeper, you're probably laughing at me, and that's fine. I don't care. Laugh away. Laugh away, beekeeper. I don't want to flame them out. I just want some nice white cool smoke. And I've got some fuel, and I've got a lot of dead leaves around me, which makes great fuel, along with moose poops, moose bones, pine needles. We don't have pine needles up here. Dead fireweed, toilet paper, newspaper, you know, that kind of stuff. Had nice smoke going. We're gonna keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. There we go. Just going to put a little bit of smoke, tiny bit. Can you see how tiny? It's been drifting over the top. I'm going to drift a little bit more. I had a theory. My instructor told me I was wrong. I'm just laughing because I was excited about the theory. He didn't find it exciting at all. Was that CO2 is used to put queen bees kind of asleep when they're artificially inseminating them. CO2 is what's in smoke. So I inquired as to, could that be, no pun intended, why smoke kind of relaxes bees? It makes sense to me. It seems kind of common sense. Apparently I was wrong. It's okay. Not the first time, not the last. Doesn't bug me. We're all wrong sometimes. What do I got here? I got a lot of nectar. I've got some honey. This is, I think, where my beautiful black queen is. The reason my beautiful black queen excites me is because I would hope that she's carrying a lot of genetics from the legendary black bees of Ireland, Germany, Europe, you know. Bees moving real slow. I did find something out. When I pulled the frame from this hive last week, I had a couple swarm cells, 3 swarm cells, 4 supersedure cells, all capped and ready to go. And I posted on one of the beekeeping forums I belong to, and I included some pictures and said, what do you guys think? And one of the fellas said something like, I'm going to get this wrong, so don't quote me. Kill them. I said, no, I'm not going to kill them. I did move them to another nuke hive, as I said on the video that I was going to do. I used my infrared camera to look at them this morning to determine if they were still alive. One of those cells is literally 2 inches long, which could be a sign of really good nutrition. That's how you get bigger queens. We've got an empty frame of nothing, a whole lot of nothing on it. So I'll replace this with a frame of drawn comb. Anyway, another person suggested that bees will not make supersedure cells at the same time as swarm cells. Well, nobody knows everything. Supersedure cells are made when the queen's pheromones are being reduced, or she's quote-unquote failing. I don't like to call any queen a failure. How could you fail if you're a queen, for God's sakes? Come on, baby. Swarm cells are made when the hive is preparing to swarm, because the population's big, they don't have enough room. Well, my hive was extremely full. Nary a millimeter to move around. But what I learned was, sometimes the hive can be so full that the workers can't disperse her pheromones. So guess what I think? I think my hive was so full, the queen couldn't disperse her pheromones, and therefore they thought she must be dudding out. But the other bees knew she wasn't and said, let's swarm up, baby. That's what I think happened. I got another empty frame here. I was hoping they'd draw out some comb, but they're not in the mood, so I'll replace this one as well. Blowing, blowing, blowing. Looking for the queen. I see drones, I see workers, I see babies, I see nurse bees. They're all looking for something yummy on my stylish blue nitrate gloves. Looking to see if maybe there's an extra queen in here. I do not see one. It's a lot of bees. I'm going to put these in my tote. In my tote. Need to grab another frame. This is a frame that I've spun out already, so it's got some juicy stuff on it. Gotta like that. everyone is a little bit more reassured when there's some honey in here. These bees are so docile right now. This one she just wants a little drink. Sorry, honey. I'll get you in a minute. They're not coming at me at all, which is great. But I wonder why. Ooh, this is a heavy frame. So if I see any eggs, that means my lady has been here in the last 3 days. So that would suffice for me. There's a lot of nectar and honey on this frame, a lot of bees. Waggle dancing. If I got a super seeder frame, another one. A lot of babies on this one. Turn it around for your inspection. I've got no queen on here. She is marked. It's good to know how to find a queen, but mark your queens. Can't tell you what to do. But who has all the time to spend looking for queens? If you got them marked, you're going to find them faster. Less disruption on the hive. I talked to a couple once. Oh, there's brood on this frame. That's great. I'll put it back in. You don't want your brood to get chilled. I talked to this couple who told me they spent 3 hours looking for the queen in their frame. They took a class from someone. Boy, check the credentials. They took a class from someone who told them that every time they go into their hive, they have to find the queen. This poor couple was spending hours and hours and hours trying to find their queen. All summer long, until they realized they didn't have to find her every time. So I've got brood on that frame. Very interesting coloring on some of these bees. Super light frame here. As you can see, no comb on one side. I was taught in a class I'm taking to stick an empty frame in between two drawn out frames and they'll draw it out. Now he didn't say regardless of what time of the year, but he didn't say not at specific times of the year. I don't want this frame in here. Going into winter, I don't want an empty frame in my hive over the winter. Honey and beeswax have great thermal mass, which means they're really good for holding in heat. And they operate a bit like wool. Not only do they absorb heat, but they reflect it back as heat. Pretty cool. So as winter goes on and the bees consume their stores, there's less and less capacity for the hive to hold on to its heat. We've got a lot of frames, or got a lot of nectar on here. I still don't see my queen. I don't see any eggs. I did see some brood, which is good. Where is she? I'm really going to look for her because I want to stop doing so many hive inspections. Temps are getting colder, a little more stressful on the bees. They're making honey. See some drones. A lot of wiggling going on. Bizarrely, we are having another dandelion bloom, which shouldn't be happening. And we are having another wild rose bloom, which was over at the end of June. We're now in the second week of September. This is the amount of bees you want going into winter. You want 10 full frames of bees. That's what we want up here anyway. I don't know what's like where you live. I was told the cluster could be small, softball size. We don't want that. The more bees that are in the hive, the easier it is for them to stay warm. They generate more heat. It's easier for them to keep the queen warm. And the less stores they consume. Look it up. Randy Oliver's blog, Scientific Beekeeping. It's excellent. Still looking for that queen. But I'm also observing everything that I'm seeing. They're making the honey, and the honey is food for them, not for us. Got a couple supersedure cells. I do not see her, but that's okay. I've still got a couple frames to go. Bees are calm. The hum is calm. That's a sign that they're pretty content. Got good activity. They're going after the pollen that I have, the pollen substitute, which is great. This nectar here is going to be capped honey pretty soon. They're going to fan it with their wings and evaporate the extra water and cap it with the wax. So far, I got no joy. But let's not be negative. Let's not be negative. Another empty frame. I can't help but wonder about the resources they've been using to try and draw out these frames. They could have been used for something else. That's what happens when you listen to the advice of others, not from your region. Some of it applies, but some of it doesn't. It just doesn't. And they will insist often that it does. But you're going to know your bees best. I don't see my lady on here. That's okay. If I don't find her today, I'll come and look tomorrow. But I don't want to go too long without knowing where she's at. I've got more full frames of bees. Into the tote. So these can just chill on the frame. 2 more full frames of bees. It is not uncommon for me to find her at the last minute. And then I'll put these frames back in, pull the empty frames, put the drawn comb in there. Come on, lady. Do you see these bees hanging? They're festooning. It's a cool term, huh? We're working together to make wax and such. Got a wasp on my hand. Boy, when they sting, it's like getting cut with a hot knife. Not that I've been cut with a hot knife, but it sure feels like it. I've got some pollen in here. That's great to see. Some bee bread, which will be used to feed the young, that brood that'll hatch. And the rest of it is nectar that's being worked over into honey. I really, really want to find the queen. It is 2nd week in September. Not a whole lot of time to requeen. She'd have to be a mated queen. I'd have to order from the lower 48. She'd get up here in a day or two, unless someone local has one. And so I would check our Facebook forums, beekeeping forums, see if anyone's got a queen they want to sell. I'd rather not, though, because I've got great genetics with this one. Crap. I don't see her. Doesn't mean she's not here. I don't see any eggs. I don't see any larvae. But that's not unusual this time of year. So I'm going to go through it again, backwards. Because she could be scammering about. I check the inside walls. There are quite a few bees on the walls. I'm going to start clipping my queen's wings. Just a smidge off one wing, so that they don't fly away, that they don't abscond, they don't swarm. I have not done it before. but it comes highly recommended. I don't see her. The other option, if I don't want to get another queen, is to combine this hive with another one. This frame here with the drawn comb. It's real light. I want to attract her. Are there ways to attract the queen? Well, drawn comb would be one, right? Because she wants to lay. The center of the hive is the most likely place to find her because it's warmest and she needs to be kept warm. Sometimes you'll find the queen inside of a cluster. They'll be clustered around her, keeping her warm. I do not see that. I don't. So this is my second time back through. And I'm going to have to bang some bees down into here. They're already going after this one. It's got some honey residue on it. It's the best stuff for them. Put it right up in there. Move this one over. I don't have my smoke because my smoker's not working. Fancy that. Is it the smoker or the operator? It's the operator. It's me. So I'm going through this again, looking for this queen. I can tilt and look at it from an angle because she tends to move differently than the others, more deliberately. She is much longer than the others. I dread to think she's absconded. Took off on a walkabout maybe. But this is the hive that made all the supersedure cells in all the swarm cells. Definitely a sign. I do have capped brood, so she was here not too long ago. She's not on this heavy frame. This frame that has the brood on it is over here. I'm going to move it towards the center. We don't want the brood to get chilled because then they'll die. And I need to check this frame over because here is where the brood is, right? Really, really checking a grid pattern sideways. She's marked, so she should be easy to see. If she's my black queen, which might be the next hive over, she's green, otherwise she's red. I will not be the person that takes 3 hours to locate the queen. Got a lot of tangled bees here. This queen is red. I'm remembering now. National Honeybee Survey. When they came, she was here. I took a picture of her. She's got a nice big backside. Full of sperm and eggs. These gals aren't moving too fast here. So I'm going to lightly run my hand across them. Ooh, they're festooning some more. Got 2 layers of bees on here. Do I do the shake? I'd like to smoke them a little bit, but the smoker's not working. So I'm blowing on them, separate them out. Usually it's a gentle blow. My gentle blow is not enough right now. There's quite a bit of brood on here. She might just be on here. She might just be on this frame. Run my finger across them again. She might be laying. It might be disrupting her flow. About 3/4 full of brood. And maybe I can get these bees to move along a little bit. I'll see some eggs or some larvae. But they really are collecting the nectar. I don't want to agitate them. I just want one of you to tell me where she is. Where is she? Where are you hiding her? Sometimes you just gotta accept reality. She might just not be here. They're making more supersedure cells. They could make their own queen. Another one. The other queens they made are on the deck. Maybe I should have left those frames in here. Alright, I'm getting down to the frame. Past the brood. Losing my patience. You don't want to do that with bees. I got brood. Got no larva, no eggs. Okay, she's gone. She's gone. She's gone. What went wrong? I'm not a singer. But you know, for the heck of it, I'm going to try this side. You can hear the hum is increasing a bit. Gosh, I don't want to introduce a new queen. Because she could have nosema, she could have mites, she could be a dud. So got to get online and beg. I don't want an Italian. I don't want a buckfast. I don't want a Saskatraz. I haven't had good luck with Saskatraz, but that's just me. I want my old world Carniolan goddess. She's not in this one either. But I'll put the brood in the middle. So that means I need to act fast. A bred queen, there's actually is time for me to introduce a new queen. If I do it quickly. I do have a friend who breeds queens down in Anchorage, Keith Malone. He takes wintered queens that make it through the winter, and because of epigenetics, he sends them to the lower 48 to be artificially inseminated. So they get some mutt genes, and then they get some strong genes. I didn't check this last frame. But his queens kick ass. I think I'm going to have to give Keith a call. The red queens have been doing great this year. They've really been doing great. I'm so pleased with them. But I've had 3 or 4 leave. Abscond. Or they've been kicked out, or hit by a car, or ate by a moose, I don't know. But just gone. One day they're here, the next day they're gone. She's not here. Okay. I'm going to put this hive back together. That took longer than I thought it would. Darn it, I was just so hoping she was here. But hope is not enough. I'm going to put in that other spun frame. And I'm going to knock these bees off. Now they're going to get excited. Double check. No queen. Another drawn frame. Now, I need these ladies to start cranking. That new queen, and a lot of people will requeen in the fall. Look at all these bees. Come on, lady. I'm really checking here. They're really getting annoyed with me. Starting to. There's these clumps of bees, 3, 4, or 5 layers thick. And I just want them to move around. I don't see her here either. I have found her at the last minute though. pretty late in the season to be able to find an Alaskan queen. Well, but that is how it goes sometimes. We must adapt and improvise. Lost one of my red queens. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Why? Why? What causes a queen to abscond after, well, she's only a year old, for crying out loud. Trying to clean up. I thought I was going to get a whole lot more work done. That is typical for me. It always takes longer than I think it's going to. I'm going to put the feeder back on. Check the bottom. Just a couple of bees there. Got a couple of them on the side here. I'm just going to brush them in. I don't want to squish them. Put my lid on. Sit down. Add some syrup. You can really hear them, huh? Time for some syrup, and I'm going to close it up. 2 gallons. We'll have this gone in 2 days. I'm really disappointed. I'm really bummed out. But it comes with the territory. Keep these hives close together so they can share a wall for warmth. And then I'll cover them up with a wool blanket. But take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Take care of your bees. Watch out for those queens. And I hope you're having a good summer. We are in autumn, heading towards winter. Ukraine is winning. Until next time, see you later.